Well, we're kicking off this video with a special local announcement that this is a brand new piece of cycle path you can find. Well, in fact, I'm gonna drop the pin on Google Maps of where this is exactly in Swansea city centre. It connects sort of two urban areas together, but there's like this, as you can see, greenery between it. So there is a cycle path down the bottom on the road, but this now links sort of the two areas, so you can get over without mingling with traffic and get into Swansea city centre a bit easier. However, that climb down there, I'm going to overlay a bit of footage I took for Instagram. Down there, it's like 13-14% in like a dead straight line. You could probably see it just there. So it comes up, goes around that tree, and then comes around here, around this hairpin, up there, around that hairpin, up another hairpin. It's pretty, like, I saw it online. Road CC did an article. So Swansea Council, I don't know, maybe they thought they could build their own like mini Alpe, but it's, I don't know. I honestly don't know how most people would ride up here. Like, given that I suppose the type of people who will ride up here are, you know, beginner, novice cyclists, like trying to get to work or something. Like, it's going to be a bit of a grind, and you need to make sure your brakes work because you just pop out at the bottom right on the main road. So, yeah, but it is pretty cool. It's not often you see a cycle path built like this, so I guess it's pretty unique. All right, so that last clip was last Friday, so the whole weekend has passed and I've not picked up the camera, but yeah, that Alpe cycle path thing, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, I was away this weekend, or last weekend actually, at a family wedding. Saw something pretty cool that I'll put on the video here. A Wembley seat, or at least a seat from the Wembley Stadium, the old Wembley Stadium, like fitted inside a plaque to showcase like a 1966 World Cup final that obviously England won. I was a big football fan, not so much now, and obviously I'm Welsh, so why should I be excited about like England winning a trophy? But I don't really care. I'm just a football fan in general, not like, I wouldn't say, oh, I support Wales more than England. So we've just got back from a ride this morning. I've done some more 1 minute efforts, and oh wow, my shoes are tight. Oh, you know when you're doing really hard efforts when you have to tighten your shoes up all the way. 1 hour 33 minutes with a 280 watt normalized power. Lots of 1 minute efforts. My best was 517 watt. And then some 30-second efforts, and my best was 590 watts. So I did the 1 minute effort on a hill, a local climb that averages about 12%. Just so I get a bit of race specific training in, and my efforts are pretty good all around. I tend to ride on the hoods, or at least if I'm doing these efforts, I'm on the hoods, and I'm using the satellite shifters on top of the hoods like a lot, especially when I'm out of the saddle climbing, because I find like moving my fingers, and this is the luxury with electronic, I suppose, because this is the first time I've ever used it. With mechanical, you've almost got to sort of let go of the bar a little bit, or loosen your grip so you can change gear, especially changing down. But I find with electronic, obviously, even if you don't use the satellite shifters, you don't have to do that as much. So that's a fairly big marginal gain actually in my book. So I'm looking forward to doing like an actual race where I can fully concentrate on like the road and just use buttons on the top to change gear. That's a nice looking heart rate graph there. I love the look of those spikes. So yeah, that's my session done for this morning. I'm going to jump on the bike later again this evening and like do a bit of just aerobic maintenance, probably on Zwift, because we've got like some storms coming in over the next couple of days, so I might be on Zwift quite a lot actually. So yeah, this time of year I've got to hide indoors when the weather gets bad, because obviously, like, when I'm at peak shape, it takes a lot out of you physically and mentally to, you know, always be washing the bike or always be like battling the elements. It does take a lot of energy, a lot of willpower, and for the most part, like, the chances of getting sick or cold or, you know, anything when you're out in that sort of weather is not ideal when, you know, I'm probably at my leanest that I am all year. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to say as well, lots of you haven't watched the 3 pillars to the hill climbing training that went out the other day. It's got pretty low views considering, like, the content that's in it and, like, how it benefits how it benefits everybody, but obviously how it gives you context over the next coming week. So make sure to check it out and share it, because lots of you still haven't seen it. So getting back to a bit of Zwifting now. I'm going to start now, so I've got 3 hours to do, and I should finish to watch Tour Britain. And I now have this dedicated space set up. Well, it's sort of not dedicated space because it's like my workspace and my Zwift space, but it's working a treat now because obviously this desk is doubling up for two things. It was actually supposed to, like, pour down today, but as you can probably see from the bright sunlight out there, it is actually quite a nice day, albeit very windy. But I'd already committed to riding indoors, so the motivation's there now. So we're all in a similar boat where, like, you know, we commit to doing something, and then when circumstances change, it's very difficult to switch your motivation. So I've got my laptop ready out there as well, because I'm intending to overlap this session with watching the Tour of Britain, which I think is stage 3 today. So I'm looking forward to watching that later on. Okay, we're about 1 hour in, and I'm going to have energy bar and some electrolytes. Oh, the box is upside down, but yeah, electrolyte pouch, 360 milligrams of sodium, 280 milligrams of potassium, a bit of magnesium, a bit of calcium. Really handy tiny pouch, these. I definitely find myself taking these on a ride with me, and then if I stop, like in a cafe or something, I can just ask them for a bit of water and just chuck this in. Tell you what, it's going to be a close finish in the Tour of Britain. 25k to go, and the breakaway's got a 3-minute advantage. It's going to come down to the wire, so I'll enjoy watching that. So just finished, 3 hours 1 minute. I went over by a minute because I was on 99 kilometers. So I've done 100k. A lot of heart rate drift. Now this is like the first time I've done a long ride indoors in a long time, so you can sort of expect it, I suppose. So when my heart rate started to drift up, which is after about 2 hours, instead of being in like the 120s, it started to drift towards 140. So instead of like riding to power or riding to feel, I started riding to heart rate so that it didn't like keep on drifting up. And something we tend to do on endurance rides, just to make sure that things like doesn't get carried away, basically. Well, this is a first. I've just ridden with Charlie on Zwift. Charlie's there. Still going. First time ever we've attempted this, although Charlie's old laptop is struggling a lot. We may have to invest in an upgrade, because obviously I'm using my desktop. Can't use my MacBook because it's already like struggling with the load of editing videos. Such is life at the minute. But for the time being, we've got a solution for us to be able to ride together. I'll leave Charlie to it.